Hi, today I would like to discuss about a topic called cancer. We might have all heard about a word called cancer in our daily lives, and it is the second leading cause of mortality in our world after the cardiovascular disease. So, for several people ask questions to scientists and doctors about the treatment procedure and if there is any cure for this cancer. The answer is very much difficult because cancer is just not a disease actually. It is a disorder which is not only pertaining to a single organ but also to different organs with a growth dysregulation pattern. So the treatment is very much difficult, and uh, and luckily when we see our past decades in the 21st century, there has been decline in the mortality rate when compared to the previous decades. So this shows that there is a increase in our treatment procedure. There is a increase in the sophistication, and also the treatment procedure is very much advanced. So hopefully there would be a better chance of survival, increase in the survival, and also the better medicines to come for cancer therapy. And some of the cancers like Hodgkin lymphoma is curable, and some other cancers like pancreatic adenocarcinoma is having a very high mortality. So all cancers are not much difficult to treat. Some are able to be cured and some are not curable. And for studying the cancer, we need to know the molecular biology of cancer, because the pathogenesis which takes place in the molecular level is very much important for the cancer, for understanding the cancer. And before discussing about the cancer pathology, one must understand the nomenclature, the different terminologies which we use in the cancer, like a common name which is we call tumor. Tumor is nothing but it's like an inflammation, and we might have also heard about a word called neoplasia. Neoplasia is nothing but a new growth. So this new growth is called as a neoplasm. So these neoplasms are nothing but like cancers, having benign or malignant tumors. I would discuss about this in later. And the word called oncology, you might have also heard about this. Oncology is nothing but a study of tumors. And there are two types of cancers, not cancers, two types of tumors, benign and malignant tumors. Benign tumors are not much, the word benign itself implies that there is not much harmful. It can be surgically removed and it is curable. And when we look into the characteristics of microscopically and the gross characteristics of these benign tumors, they are well differentiated, and these are not well differentiated, but these are relatively innocent. And unlike these malignant tumors, these are having a metastasizing capability, like that they invade distant sites and different organs, affecting the whole body. It is very dangerous. So that's why called as a malignant tumor. And these are collectively called as a cancer, because cancer, this word has come from a word called crab. It's like an analogy between cancer and crab, having some similarity. Crab is a small living organism that it can either to or stick to any other thing and seize it on and in an obstinate way. So such kind of character is there in this malignant tumor, so it is called as a cancer. And there are two components in malignant tumors or benign tumors, is that First one is the neoplastic cells, the clonal neoplastic cells, which are composed of parenchyma, and the second one is the reactive stroma, which is constituting this connective tissue, blood vessels, macrophages, and lymphocytes. And for these tumors to survive, they need some blood supply, right? They need some nutrient supply. For any other cell to survive, they should need some blood supply nutrition, so that it could keep continuing the cell cycle. Because cell cancer is nothing but there is a continuous rapid growth of cells. So for these cells, there should be a blood supply, which is provided by the stroma, and this stroma is much scanty. And these are fleshy, and some of the tumors have a stromal support that is scanty, and these are very soft and fleshy. And some of the tumors in which the parenchymal cells stimulate the proliferation of these stroma into collagenous stroma. So the collagen itself is very hard. So when this stroma becomes very hard, it will be very. We can see in the case, like in some people, in some cancers like breast cancer, in which the stroma is composed of collagenous material, and the female breasts will be stony hard or scurous. So this is called as a desmoplasia. I mean that there is a formation of collagenous stroma, which is called as desmoplasia. And the nomenclature and biologic behavior of all these tumors are primarily based on this parenchymal component. So this is about the nomenclature of these components, and we shall discuss about the benign tumor. The benign tumor does have a suffix name called oma every time, like in fibroma, affecting the fibrous tissue, lipoma, and chondroma, which is affecting the cartilaginous tissue, and adenoma, like affecting the benign epithelial neoplasm. So these are all benign tumors, and some of the benign tumors which are producing microscopically or macroscopically visible finger-like ovoid projections are called as papillomas. And some other benign tumors are there in which the cystic masses are present in the ovaries, which are called as cystadenomas. And there are some other tumors in which the papillary patterns of they are protruding into the cystic processes, which are called papillary adenomas. Sorry, it's papillary cystadenomas. And some of the tumors which arise from this mucosal surface, which are called as polyps. And coming to these malignant tumors, these are some of the malignant tumors which are derived from the mesenchymal tissue are called as sarcomas. The word sarcoma has come with a meaning called fleshy. So it has a very less connective tissue. And some of the examples like fibrosarcoma, chondrosarcoma, rhabdomyosarcoma, and leiomyosarcomas. These are all different malignant tumors. And the malignant neoplasms which are derived from any of the three germ layers are called as carcinomas. And benign neoplasms and malignant neoplasms, and they share common parenchymal cells. The parenchymal cells resemble each other. And there are some other tumors like mixed tumors in which the cells would differentiate not well having two types of tumors making up of two lineages, which has a single subclone which have come from the same origin but dividing into different lineages, like we can see in the mixed tumors of salivary gland. And there are some, these are not to be confused with a word called teratoma, because teratoma is nothing but it's a germ layer modification. I mean, there is a tumors in the germ layer which originates from the totipotential cells from the ovary or testis or from the embryonic midline.